Tonight, rapper Willie D sends a rebuttal to fellow Houston hometown rapper Slim Thug's inspirational comments on his live to the black community. Also, Charleston White goes viral once again on the Club 520 podcast and pretty much almost gets these guys canceled by Black Twitter. All that and more on episode 107 of Up to Speed with Tripp Simpson.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Up to Speed with Tripp Simpson. I am your host, Tripp Simpson, in the building.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
That's right. And before we get this live stream started tonight, first and foremost, you know we got to handle business. Let's get it.
Family moving up in the business. I know you're gonna look after family.
What family you talking about, Ice?
Fuck, I look invisible, nigga.
That's right, I am not invisible. So do me a favor. If you're watching live on YouTube, Facebook, X, or Instagram, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and also, please don't forget to comment in the live chat below. Let's get it. Let's get it. Got a whole lot I want to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll probably be here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But there's a lot going on. And, you know, I've been down for about the past week and a half. I had a really bad cold with congestion. So that had me down for a couple of days. Then on Christmas, I caught this crazy eye infection. So I'm just getting over that. So I'm back. Hopefully, want to keep the content popping for the rest of the week. So let's get it. All right. Also, we will be opening up the phone calls. The phone lines and the link to chime in later. So if you guys want to chime in on any of the topics that we're talking about tonight, you'll have your chance to do so later in the program. All right. So let's get to it. First up tonight, I want to talk about one of my favorite sons, right? Sons, S-O-N, sons. For those of you who don't know, when I say sons, again, I'm talking about S-O-N. It's an acronym I made a while back, and it stands for Scared Old Negroes. Scared old Negroes who can't leave the Democrat plantation. Now, one of my favorite scared old Negroes, or sons, that I like to discuss is none other than Ghetto Boys rapper turned YouTuber Willie D. All right, now in case you guys aren't up to speed, fellow rapper Slim Thug took to the gram the other day to give an inspiring message to the black community. And today, Willie D responded to that video with his own opposing take. Now, I'm 50-50 with Slim Thug, right? I don't agree with a lot of Slim Thug's takes and opinions. However, at least he isn't totally delusional. Okay, he definitely was pro Kamala Harris, right? Which I disagree with. But then again, they might have cut him that check. They definitely might have cut him that check. But nonetheless, I tend to agree with what he had to say in this video I'm about to play. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get to it. All right, let's get to that video. All right, give me a second, good people. All right. So here's what Slim Thug had to say.
It's 2025. We can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. So at the end of the day, everybody showed us they can do it from scratch.
All right, now y'all heard what he said. So basically, and I'm not gonna play his whole video because Willie D's video is pretty long. So I don't want to get into Slim Thug's whole. But this is the gist of what he had to say. All right. So let me play that back for you.
It's 2025. We can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. So at the end of the day, everybody showed us they can do it from scratch. So we can't be waiting on nobody to give us nothing. Everybody just gotta do it, no matter where you come from. You gotta do it from scratch. I ain't have shit and look at me now. So if I could have did it, you could have did it now. We gotta stop making excuses. Stop waiting on motherfuckers. We gotta take advantage of this shit. We gotta be happy on purpose, doing shit that make us happy. It's 2025. We can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them.
All right, so there we have it. Okay? Nothing over the top, nothing crazy. Just letting black folks know that now is the time to step up and do for self. Now, sure, you can complain about the white man until you're blue in the face. But what's that gonna do for anyone besides race baiters like Willie D, who make a living off of crying about isolated situations that appear to be racially charged? Slim Thug is telling you to stop crying, get off your ass, and take advantage of being a citizen of the freest country in the world. That's all he's telling you. Right? So, anyways, let's get to Willie D's comments. And then we'll get into this discussion. All right? 1 second. All right. Get that up for you real quick. All right, here we go. All right, so here's what Willie D had to say. Let's get it.
What's up, family? I just watched a video of Slim Thug, my homie, talking about how black folks need to stop blaming white folks for their problems. Slim declared it's 2025. We can't blame white folks no more. We got to get past it. Let it go. No more excuses. Slim cited the success of others who have come here and got it from scratch. He said that if they can do it, we can do it. He also cited himself and his own success. He said, hey man, I came from nothing. If I can do it, you can do it. We gotta take stewardship of our own happiness. We gotta be intentional about being happy. Don't blame anybody. Well, Slim, all that sounds good, but the reality is no group of people in the history of civilization has ever been able to reach their optimum when they're being targeted for failure by their own government.
Okay, so I want to stop it right there. Now, who exactly is targeting black folks for failure? Who exactly is doing this, right? I really want to dig into what he's saying because it doesn't make any sense to me. Willie D is a well-known Democrat, right? He's a Democrat. He makes no bones about that. Now, where do most black people live? Most black people live in heavily Democrat-controlled areas. Willie D is in Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is heavily controlled by Democrats. Okay? I live in Washington, D.C., heavily controlled by Democrats. Places like Detroit, Atlanta, Chicago, all where large concentrations of black people are, controlled by Democrats. But yet, he's the same one that tells you to vote for these people every 4 years. Every 4 years, Willie D is the main one. He was the main one telling you, vote for Kamala Harris, vote for Joe Biden. But these are the people who are controlling your neighborhoods. You've been voting for them for the past 60 years, and they haven't done anything. So when you talk about a government targeting black people, you must be talking about the Democrats. Even all your police killings and shootings that we allege are racially done. These are all done in Democrat jurisdictions. All Democrat places. See, this is the cop-out. This is the cop-out. He wants to sit up here and tell you that, you know, black people's problems can only be blamed on white people because of racism, right? But there's a reason why he does that, because people like him get paid to tell you stuff like that. If there was no racism, Willie D wouldn't get paid. He'd have to think of something else to talk about. But we'll get into that. Let's get it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, hit that like button for me, please. Hit that share button. And also, hold up, I almost forgot. Do me a favor. Hit that super chat or that Cash App. All right, let's get it. Let's go.
The government makes the laws. The government enforces the laws. The dominant race creates the industries and they control the industries. Every major institution in this country is being controlled by white folks. Every major institution in this country is being controlled by white folks. Now, you think that's happenstance? No, brother, that's by design.
Again, this is hilarious. Willie D is literally broadcast daily on YouTube. That's owned by who? A white person. YouTube's owned by a white person. The very tool that he uses to get out to his followers every day and collect money off super chats and views, because this is all Willie D does at this point. He's a full-time YouTuber. Getting money from the quote-unquote white man's platform, but at the same time trying to tell you that you can't succeed in the quote-unquote white man's world because all of them are racist. I'm sorry, I don't ascribe to that way of thinking. Are there racist people out here? Sure. But I guarantee you this, you got a better chance of succeeding in the United States of America as a black person than you do in Nigeria, than you do in Ghana, than you do in Mexico, than you do in God knows where, Panama. Why? Because the way our government is set up, you can navigate through the people who may or may not be racist because there's laws to protect you. You have rights. If you pick up a goddamn book and read, you know about them. But instead, you decide to sit and listen to niggas like Willie D all day on the internet telling you that you can't succeed when he is a prime example of someone who succeeded. Someone who came out of the projects of the Fifth Ward ghetto in Houston. He succeeded. Let's continue.
And if anybody tries to penetrate those industries, they are going to be met with extreme resistance. So yeah, somebody gonna slip through the crack every now and then.
Penetrate what industries though? You see, here's one thing, and I'm gonna stop pausing. I'm gonna let him go. But I want to just point this out. You hear a lot of black celebrities, right? Or these black race baiters on the internet tell you that they won't let a black man penetrate the industry. Well, that's not true. It's just that black folks try to penetrate the wrong industries. See, black folks think that there's only 3 industries. We think that there's only 3 industries: sports, music, and Hollywood. We think that those are the only 3 industries when there's plenty of other industries that a whole bunch of people make money off that we don't even look into. We aren't sending our kids to school to be engineers and to excel at STEM. We send our kids Those three places. Hollywood, sports, and music. And yes, those industries are tied up by certain people, but they don't let anybody get into their inner circles. That doesn't just apply to black folks not getting into those circles. There's white folks that can't get into those circles. Let's go.
But even when they get through, you're talking about one of one. You talking about it. You got to be a hellified person. You got to be a hellified individual to get to that level. When you talk about other people coming here and getting it from scratch, what you fail to mention, Slim, is that those people don't have people running interference, trying to stop them from gaining access. Slim also said that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. Come on, Slim. Come on. Now, to my good white folks, if it don't apply, let it fly. If the shoe don't fit, you ain't in the shit. I'm not talking about you. But let's call a strike and a ball. You know damn well you got white folks out there that intentionally run interference on black folks. You know it's white folks out there that's got a anybody but the blacks mentality. You know that there are white folks out there that come up with ideas every few years to try to figure out how they can further oppress black folks.
I mean, okay, yeah, there may be white people out there doing that, but there's, for every white man that's trying to hold you down, there's at least 50 niggas that'll stand in your way first. There's at least 50 niggas that'll stand in your way first. Here's one thing niggas need to realize, bro. The average white person in America is not thinking about your black ass. I can tell you that with confidence. The average white person in America is feeling it just like everybody else. Even the big wigs, even the top 1% of white people, they're not worried about black people. They're worried about China. They're worried about Russia. They're worried about India. They're worried about Brazil. They're worried about communists and Marxists trying to infiltrate America and turn us into, early 20th century Russia. Stalin and Lenin type shit. Nobody's worried about niggas, man. I guarantee you, man, the average white person probably wishes that niggas would get their shit together. As long as we keep having this attitude, pointing the finger at everybody else and not looking in the mirror to fix our own situation, we're gonna have the same problems. But anyway, let's go.
You know that there are white folks out there who purposely become police officers so that they can kill black folks. That's right, I said it. So look, I'm not going to be silent so you can be comfortable. Why is it that black folks are the only people that society says, forget about the past, let it go? And so we're the only ones that they say, don't worry about your heritage. That was a long time ago. Ain't nobody forgot about 9/11. Ain't nobody forgot about Pearl Harbor. Ain't nobody forgot about the Holocaust. They ain't telling nobody to forget about the Alamo. Ain't nobody forgot about the American Civil War. Oh man, they celebrate every year and they put it in the history books so you can never, ever, ever forget. Now here's the thing. When Slim talked about black folks complaining, do y'all really think that black folks wake up every day looking forward to being oppressed so that we can have something to complain about? Like, yo, look, we got to keep this oppression thing going so we can have something to complain about.
All right, so there we have it. That's Willie D's response to Slim Thug. And I'll just say this, man. It's high time we stop taking advice from scared old Negroes like Willie D. It's amazing to me how a man who contributed to the downfall of the black community, yes, I said contributed it, and let me stop for a minute. Willie D is a pioneer in the early stages of gangster rap. Hold on, as a matter of fact, he's one of the original gangster rappers. The Ghetto Boys, right after NWA, he's one of the original gangster rappers. So yes, it amazes me how a major contributor to the downfall of the black community can sit up here and honestly preach this let's blame the white man shit to people when he worked under an all-black record label, Rap-A-Lot Records, aka Mob Ties, that promoted and it still actively promotes degenerate behavior in the black community. This nigga wants to whine and cry about the imaginary white man attacking blacks and being out to get us, but doesn't even realize that the biggest threat to the day-to-day black man in America is unfortunately other black men. You don't agree? Go argue with your baby mama, because this shit ain't up for debate. 11,000 black men on average per year are killed by other black men in America. Okay? That's light years beyond the rates of any other race in the country. No other race in the country kills each other at the rate we kill each other at. Or do they have the amount of murders that we have? All right? So I'm talking per capita and most overall murders. And to top it off, we're only 13% of the population. Bro, that shit's a problem. I'm tired of people saying there's no such thing as black on black crime. Bro, that shit's a problem, bro. That shit's a problem. Shout out to BC from BX. He says the answer is unanimously yes. We absolutely wake up early to hop on the oppression train. Facts. Facts. But back to my point. That is the shit Willie D and Rap-A-Lot Records promoted in the early 90s. And honestly, it's what they're still promoting now with Mob Ties. Honeycomb, Brazy, Finesse 2 Times, all these wild niggas. But you don't hear Willie D say a peep about that. One, because he don't want no smoke with Jay Prince. And two, because it doesn't generate super chats and YouTube views. See, Willie D knows, just like every other race baiter on YouTube knows, victimhood sells faster than accountability. Victimhood sells faster than accountability. If you accept the facts, dedicate yourself to a worthy or rewarding cause, you can accomplish anything in America. I'm a firm believer in that. And 9 out of 10 of the times, it's a white boy who'll hand you the check. It's a white boy who'll hand you the check. See, once you figure out that niggas like Willie D become irrelevant, when there's no race baiting and there's nothing to complain about, they gotta switch up their game. They gotta switch up their game or they're gonna fail. If there's no victims to preach to, then there's no more super chats and views and merch to sell. It's kind of like cancer. There ain't no money in the cure. There's no money in the cure. Same thing with racism. There's no money in the cure. That's why they shove it down your throat 24/7, 365. That's why people who talk about taking accountability get silenced and shadow banned on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. People who speak like that get shadow banned. But people who keep you as a victim, they get propped up. Now, speaking of perpetual victimhood, all right? Let's talk about black folks and the extreme issues that we have with political naivety. I mean, it's to the point where it bothers my soul. Why? Because deep down inside, I really got love for you niggas. I really do. I got love for you because you know not what you do. You have been brainwashed so thoroughly by the Marxist white liberals and Democrats, along with their puppets, the black preachers, teachers, college professors, athletes, and entertainers, that the ignorance for how things actually work is like second nature to you people. I mean, you could literally pull actual facts, stats, and video evidence to prove these people wrong, and they'll still deny it. They'll still deny it. We got to be honest. Most of us are beyond the pale. Most of us are beyond the pale. When it comes to logical thinking in the realm of politics, we're beyond the pale. Now, what do I mean? I mean that most of us are so preoccupied with our emotions surrounding race relations that we can't see the forest for the goddamn trees. Give you a prime example. I'll give you a prime example. I was at a family Christmas event last week, right? And the topic of Trump came up. And you know, they all know I'm a Trump supporter. So it's literally like an 8 versus 1 argument. So I asked them, what has Trump actually done or said to the black community while he was president or running for president, policy-wise or rhetoric-wise, that specifically harmed us? Right? I asked that question. One person said he was going to give immunity, he's going to give immunity to the police. So I asked, how exactly does that hurt us? The police already have immunity. So then they said, well, it's giving a green light to police officers to kill black men with impunity. I couldn't help but laugh because once again, most blacks are completely ignorant to what qualified immunity is, number one. And number two, there are in fact more white men, like I said earlier, who are killed by police every year than any other race in America. While it's true that black men are pretty high per capita when it comes to police-involved deaths, 99% of the time, the suspect is armed and the use of force is determined justified. Okay? Which would literally mean a handful of deaths in question. A handful of deaths of those deaths are in question. And by a handful, I'm talking like 2 or 3 people a year, maybe. What's my point here though, right? I'm not here to just shit on the community. I'm just here to wake you up. My point is that we are worried about the wrong shit. As a black man in America, you are far more likely, as I said earlier, to be assaulted and or murdered by another black man than you are by a police officer or any other race of people in general. The numbers aren't even remotely close. But yet, these are the things that we're encouraged to dwell on year after year. Election cycle after election cycle. See, instead of worrying about the minuscule numbers of police deaths, we should be putting far more energy, in my opinion, into lowering black on black crime. I said earlier, 11,000 black men are killed by other black men on average every single year in America. 11,000. Compared to about 400 a year killed by police. Then when you account for those who are killed that were unarmed, we're talking like maybe 6 in the past 5 years. So the whole police brutality shit is a whole L. And yes, it does happen. the young lady in Illinois earlier this year who had the pot of water. That was an unjustified killing. From what it looks like, the guy Robert Brooks, that's turning out to look like an unauthorized, unjustified killing, in my opinion. Right? The guy who was killed by the CO officers in the jail. Right? So it does happen. But the point is, Trump hasn't contributed to any of that. Now, another person's gripe with Trump and black folks was, and I quote, Trump referred to white supremacists as good people during the Charlottesville riot. And I just had to laugh. That shit has been debunked 1,000 times already. 1,000 times. But nonetheless, black folks still believe it. So, I pulled the actual video to show them that they were wrong. Right? I'm going to play it for y'all real quick just to give you a refresher. This is what I showed them. All right? Give me a second. This is what I showed them. All right. Get to it. Here we go.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group.
What did this man just say? Not the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists. They should be condemned totally. I'm going to play it back.
Excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists.
And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. Now, what's crazy is even after seeing that clip, even after I showed them that clip, totally debunked what the man just said, they still insisted that Trump was on record supporting white supremacists. So I said, show me the clip where Trump did such a thing. Matter of fact, give me a date, give me a time, give me a year, give me a month, give me something. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Go to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter right now, and you can find hundreds of compilations of Trump disavowing white supremacists on 100 different occasions. I played this shit on my channel at least 10 times already, so I'm not going to do it again today. You can go on YouTube and find it right now. 100 times Trump disavowed white supremacy. It's all over the place. But needless to say, everyone who challenged my position on Trump was shut down with facts and proof, and it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough. Let me get to some of these comments real quick. All right, JP Reloaded says, put it on repeat in case the dummies in the back can't hear it. That's a fact. All right. So yeah, man, I hate to say this, but we got to tell the truth and shame the devil. The masses of black folks in America do not know how to operate outside the realms of a victim mentality. And it's pathetic to watch. One situation that's making some noise over social media right now is the Mississippi Valley State invitation to President Trump's inaugural parade. And it once again showcases the ridiculousness of the black community. Now, first off, it's sad enough this school doesn't even have the money to send their damn band to an inauguration parade without begging for $350,000. It's sad enough. But what's even sadder is the response that they are getting just for considering going. So real quick, let's go ahead and play some of these reactions to Mississippi Valley State's acceptance invitation. I want to show you some of the ridiculous things that I've seen on TikTok so far. All right, let's get it.
If y'all don't get up off.
Here we go. Let's go.
You marching band invited to perform at the Tangerine Man and the Klan's inauguration parade. Mississippi Valley State University writes, the MSVU Mean Green Marching Machines have been invited to Washington, D.C. for the 60th presidential inauguration parade. Help us raise $350K to make this historical moment a reality. Wait a goddamn minute. How the fuck was y'all invited to go somewhere and gotta raise money to get there? Y'all don't go ask First Lady Elon Musk for that money? I know something. I don't give a fuck. I am not spending my hard-earned money to get y'all to a Klans meeting so that y'all can perform. The day of slavery is fucking over. The fact that y'all want to go, I'm looking at everybody in fucking Mississippi very questionable right now. How the fuck did anyone think that it was a good idea to ask the public for some shit like that? How they act like
they gotta ask the public because the alumni doesn't give them a damn thing. They gotta ask the public because Joe Biden canceled President Trump's $45 billion a year automatic funding to HBCUs. He reduced it to $2 billion from 45. That's why. Let's go.
I can't remember what happened to the last black motherfucker who then went down there to perform at the inauguration. Ted Michelle is still over there feeling that shit. It's been almost 5 years. She too went over there trying to bridge gaps like her last name was Builder, first name Bomb. That lady ain't made $1 million since her fucking first million. Tangerine Man and the Klan is literally playing in y'all face and y'all want us to donate money to help him play in y'all face. Absolutely the fuck not. I'ma save my coins. I mean, there is so many things wrong with this. Y'all are a black school. Same black school this man is trying to take black history out of. Historic is in y'all fucking.
Did you hear the ridiculous things, the unfounded things, and the shit that you cannot find one statement where Trump says he wants to take black history out of HBCUs. You can't find that statement anywhere. But this is the shit they repeat on the internet. This is the shit they repeat. Let's get to the next one.
HBCU sweatbands. Let's talk about it. Valley has got invited to the inaugural for Donald Trump. When do we learn to stand up straight, put our chest out, and stand for what the fuck we are?
Let me show y'all something real quick. And this ain't no disrespect to people who work in grocery stores. Look at this dude's shirt. This dude works at Aldi. Now all of a sudden, he's an expert on political and college affairs. My nigga, go get the quarters out of the shopping carts, my nigga. Let's go, bro. Listen to this nonsense.
As people, as a society. Because it's one thing to be invited and everything was to be paid for, everything is to be luxury, and y'all was to get paid or something. But you're not. They're literally slapping your ass around and playing in your face. Playing in your face. Making you feel like, oh, this is a historic moment. And this can mean so much. What is they gonna really do for you in the band? Honestly, what? If y'all got to go raise $350K to be able to go, what is this going to do for the band? They literally just...
This nigga just said, what's that gonna do for the band? Oh my God. So performing at an inaugural parade does nothing for the band. It's just like the Super Bowl, right? Kendrick Lamar isn't getting paid to play in the Super Bowl this year. Do you know why people take the Super Bowl performance? Because it's publicity. It's the greatest publicity you could get. So when you got millions of people lined up for the inaugural parade watching Mississippi Valley State's wonderful band, they have a wonderful band, by the way, that's going to get them a lot of eyes. That definitely does a lot for the school. It's not just about the band, it's for the school. First of all, the school is hanging on by a thread anyway, but we'll get into that later. Let's go.
Just using y'all just to say I had an HBCU band. I don't know. I'm not here to tell nobody what political party that they choose, but when your
shout out to BC from the BX. He says, why would the Klan be inviting an HBCU band to a televised national inauguration? Exactly. These people just say anything. He also says, it be the majority of black women and the LGBTQs that lead our race down the path to degradation. You could be on to something. All right. Let's get it.
School and everything you're about is historically black. And the person that's the inaugural is for, it's the Ku Klux Klan, bitch. I don't know. I don't fucking know what.
I mean, the level that these people are just uninformed at is astonishing, man. Astonishing. Astonishing. Let's get to the next one. I can't listen to this mushmouth fool talk anymore. All right, let's go to this one.
Please help me figure out. Mississippi Valley State University Marching Band, step to the front, because I heard that you all were invited to Inauguration Day. So go hang out with the Orange Menace on January 20th, and you have a GoFundMe to raise money. The Mississippi Valley State University Band has been invited to perform during the presidential inauguration parade in January. The Mean Green Marching Machine from Mississippi Valley State University has been invited to Washington, D.C. for the 60th presidential inauguration parade. Help us raise $350,000 to make this historic moment a reality. They've got a GoFundMe and they've got a link for more information. Never mind that. Mississippi Valley State University March Day. Never mind that Orange Menace Mussolini is doing everything he can to dismantle the Department of Education, to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, to dismantle Black and Brown scholarship programs, and to dismantle funding for HBCUs, which you are one of. Now, I love black children, I love black people, I love my HBCUs, but...
First of all, once again, this woman has no idea what she's talking about. Okay? President Trump set aside the largest funding for HBCUs and attempted to make it permanent out of any other president in history. Second of all, the Department of Education doesn't have much to do besides setting up people with them BS federal student loans. They don't have much to do with Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley State is run by the state of Mississippi, unfortunately. It's run by the state of Mississippi. And the reason that Trump wants to get rid of the Department of Education doesn't have anything to do with racism. It has everything to do with giving less control to the federal government in local affairs. The federal government shouldn't have his nose into what the state of Mississippi, the state of Maryland, the state of Tennessee, the state of Nevada, the state of California or New York have to do with their education. It should be up to the people of those states how they choose to educate themselves or their children. It's not up to a bureaucrat in the federal government. In actuality, by getting rid of the Department of Education, he's giving you more rights as an American citizen because there's not an unelected bureaucrat giving you the rules. I don't know why is this so hard to get? I don't understand how this is so hard to get. I really don't. Let's go.
Y'all are really gonna go perform on Dr. King weekend for that Orange Menace at the 60th inauguration parade? Really? That's what we're doing? Okay. As always, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
All right, I'm gonna play this last one and then we're gonna keep it moving.
Mississippi Valley say, if y'all don't get up off my timeline asking for money to go to the inauguration, are you crazy? Got to be crazy. Is you smoking dope or dog food? Because not all opportunities are good opportunities. And this is one opportunity you need to say with your chest, no, we will not be there. Because why? Why you going? And then to be asking a 92 and a 78% to help you go? Is you crazy? Got to be crazy. Baby, you're going to be marching all the way to D.C. and all the way back if you asking me for money, because it's a hard no for me. I pass. Since the inauguration is going to be occurring around the Martin Luther King Day holiday, let me leave you with this. Martin Luther King Jr. said that the measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy.
Okay, and that's enough from the Peanut Gallery. Okay. Now, what's crazy to me is how the victim mentality never fails with black liberals. It's just like Trump's cabinet picks, right? You had all these black liberals laughing at us, black Trump supporters, and pointing out the fact that Trump didn't have enough blacks in his cabinet picks. Let me tell you this right now. First and foremost, I don't care what color the people are in Trump's cabinet. We saw Joe Biden appoint a bunch of black people in his cabinet, and they were worthless. Number one, they didn't do what was right for the country, and number two, they didn't do a goddamn thing for your black ass. So all of that, people that look like me hearing it, I don't care about any of that. I want the best person from the job. I don't care whether they're black or white or Hispanic or whatever. Put the best American citizen for the job in that place. Straight up. But yes, they like to point out the fact that Trump didn't have enough black cabinet picks. But as soon as a black person gets picked for Trump's cabinet, they start calling that person a coon, a sellout, and Uncle Tom. I guarantee you that if Trump didn't pick any HBCUs to participate in that parade, that would have been an even bigger problem. If there were no HBCUs picked for the parade, then these same people who are complaining about the HBC going will be crying that there's no black representation at the parade. So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. And people wonder why no one takes us seriously in general. And what's even crazier is if I'm not mistaken, Mississippi Valley State was on the chopping block in the state of Mississippi. Like the state was considering closing the damn school. So why wouldn't they seize an opportunity like this? Why wouldn't they? But anyways, I want to show you guys a few more examples of the political naivety of black liberals and liberals in general. Then we'll get to the next two topics. So let's go. First off, I want to play this video from the state of Maryland, right? You'll find this interesting, right? Because this is going to be a testament to the way that black people and liberals vote in general. Just the stupidity that they vote for and continue to vote for. All right, let's get to it. Get to it.
This week, analysts told lawmakers Maryland's budget shortfall will...
Let me fix the screen. All right, boom. All right, we good to go? Let's get it.
Top $3 billion. But it turns out not every state is in such financial despair.
Did y'all hear that? The state of Maryland is about to be in a $3 billion deficit.
This week, analysts told lawmakers Maryland's budget shortfall will soon top $3 billion. But it turns out not every state is in such financial despair. Fox 45's Jeff Abel joins us live right now to show us why some states are actually thriving. Jeff?
You know, we spent this day examining the condition of other states in this region, and what we discovered was that many of Maryland's neighbors are actually enjoying budget surpluses. At the State House in Annapolis, analysts are sounding the alarm about Maryland's deepening financial predicament.
That the magnitude of the shortfall is the most significant in at least 20 years, including through the Great Recession.
But there are questions about how the state fell into deep financial despair. Right now, analysts project Maryland is on track to see a $3 billion budget deficit.
You see that? $3 billion. Every other surrounding jurisdiction is in a surplus. West Virginia, $826 million surplus. Virginia, $2 billion surplus. Delaware, $164 million surplus. The state of Maryland, run by Governor Wes Moore, a Democrat, negative $3 billion. Let's go.
However, surrounding states are enjoying budget surpluses. The state of Delaware has a $546 million surplus. West Virginia is enjoying an $826 million surplus. And the state of Virginia is sitting on a $2 billion surplus. No surprise to State Senator Justin Reedy.
Government needs to be on a diet. That's what we need to put government on a diet and reprioritize what we're doing. And one of our first priorities has got to be economic growth.
Maryland not only has one of the highest.
I want to stop right there. Shout out to Guns and Cafe. Shout out to Guns and Cafe. He makes a great point. And I'm from the DC, Maryland. I'm from the area, right? I live in DC. Well, right outside of DC, right? He says liberals make fun of West Virginia, but who's got money and who's broke? You can make fun of the kissing cousins all you want, but at least they're not broke. And at least they don't have Baltimore. Oh my God. Shout out to my Be More people though, but you know what it is, man. You know what it is. You know y'all got work to do. Let's go.
Gas taxes in the region, but a recent comparison by Spotlight on Maryland found it also is far less friendly to businesses. Right now, Maryland has one of the highest corporate tax rates in the region. Virginia and West Virginia have some of the lowest, two states which are also deficit-free.
Now that's a great point right there, right? That's a great point, and this is something that I always bring up when it comes to the whole liberal versus Republican situation. And I know this because I live in the area. The state of Maryland, in addition to their crazy taxes, right? I got a man, I would get into it about the taxes they try to put on my house when I bought it, but that's a story for another day, right? But the state of Maryland is so unfriendly to business, bro. There are so many stupid regulations you have to go through just to do business in the state of Maryland and in DC as well. DC is also liberal. And by the way, DC would definitely be in a deficit if it wasn't for the federal government. DC would be in a deficit, we would be Baltimore if it wasn't for the federal government. So that's why we skate all the time. But back to my point, the state of Maryland is so unfriendly to business. People don't want to do business in Maryland. A lot of people don't want to live in Maryland because of the high property taxes. Like, Maryland's crazy, bro. But this is all liberal policies. But they got some of the best welfare in the country. Some of the best welfare in the country. But the hard-working, tax-paying people, they don't get those benefits. They get high gas, high taxes on their property, and the short end of the stick every single time. But for some reason, these people keep voting for Democrats. Let's go.
every other state around us is looking at how they can reduce the cost of living and the cost of doing business. We need to be doing the same thing.
We have a lot of assets, but no strategy.
Darius Arani is the chief economist at the Regional Economics Institute at Towson University. He says the state must become far more business friendly.
It is sometimes challenging to start a business in Maryland. There are a lot of regulations that we have put in place that make it somewhat of a...
Real quick, hey, if you're watching on X, yo, shout out to X, man. We almost at 100 live viewers on X. Let's go. If you're on X, do me a favor. If you're on X, hit the heart button and also hit that retweet button. Let's try to get it to 200. If you're on X, hit that like button, hit that heart button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the share button, and comment in the live chat below. Let's try to get these YouTube numbers up. Let's try to get them up. Hit that like button, hit that share button. It don't cost you nothing. Let's get it.
A less than streamlined process.
Arani believes Maryland is far too dependent on the federal government and suggests it offer greater incentives for businesses to open here. For now, the clock is ticking as the state's budget gap continues to widen.
It's not rocket science. Bring down the cost of doing business, the hassle of doing business, and the cost of living.
Well, the governor has indicated he will soon be signing executive orders aimed at improving the business environment in the state. He did not indicate whether that will include reducing the corporate tax rate. We're live tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
So boom. I mean, there we have it. That's Governor Wes Moore, the Democrat governor from the state of Maryland. Now, some people think that this guy is the next Obama, right? Meaning that they think he's in the presidential category. I beg to differ. Okay? Because he's actually driving the state of Maryland down. As you can just see from the video we just watched, this shit is not good. It's not good for majority of places run by Democrats or the Democrat talent that they like to say are presidential forerunners. Most of the places that they run are piss poor. Another great example is Governor out of California, Gavin Newsom. He just might be the absolute worst. Gavin Newsom just might be the absolute worst. Let's get into this video. All right, let's go. Here we go.
In the red, California is facing a $27 billion budget deficit, and today the governor released his plan for trying to deal with it. Spoiler alert, it is brutal.
You hear that? It's brutal. Let's go. Let's get it, man.
And the governor warns painful cuts are ahead. Our business and tech reporter Scott Budman got the latest answers this afternoon. He's here to break those numbers down. Scott.
And Janelle, for the second year in a row, California is facing a multi-billion-dollar shortfall, and that, according to the governor, will lead to the loss of both money that was going towards programs and jobs that were going to be filled.
The legislature.
Governor Newsom says California is now facing a budget shortfall of $27.6 billion, a deficit deep enough that Newsom says the state must eliminate programs and jobs that were supposed to be filled.
None of this is kind of work you enjoy doing, but you got to do it. We have to be responsible. We have to be accountable.
Speaking with the split screen showing how far some state revenues have dropped recently, Newsom spoke of 10,000 vacant jobs that will go unfilled and how artificial intelligence may be used to streamline certain operations.
Just yesterday with generative AI, that is not a job killer. In fact, that's explicit in our executive order as it relates to artificial intelligence, but some of the new programming we're doing in partnership with Anthropic and Google and others, and OpenAI, as it relates to traffic management.
Reaction to the proposed.
All right, so y'all get the point, right? So what I want to do next is I want to show you guys one of the reasons why the state of California is in a $24 billion deficit. $24 billion. $24 billion. All right? I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why right here.
A scathing new report tonight about California's response to the homeless.
All right, here we go.
A scathing new report tonight about California's response to the homeless crisis. The state auditor says the state has spent $20 billion in 5 years, but can't meaningfully track the spending or measure results.
Well, KCAL News reporter Joy Benedict is live in North Hollywood tonight with more. Joy?
Yeah, guys, I mean, this was a very lengthy audit that was put out by the state earlier today. And what it shows is really everyone's fear, right? That we're throwing a lot of money at a problem and the problem isn't going to be fixed. And although that may be what the audit says on surface level, those who work with the homeless say it's just not that simple. In a community like the Arts District of North Hollywood, the streets are always packed with patrons, neighbors, and the unhoused.
They clear them and then they come back, then they clear them, then they come back.
I've only been in the area since 2018, and in those few years I've seen it increase almost exponentially. It is very sad.
Numbers a new state audit confirm, as the state legislative audit committee released a report saying that homeless numbers jumped 53% in the last decade, with an estimated 180,000 people unhoused in California.
So you spent $20 billion over the last few years on homelessness, and it has jumped up by 53%. How does that even happen? How does that even happen? And then the crazy part is, the state did an audit, and they don't even know where the money went. Well, they know where it went, but they're acting like they don't. These are the Democrats and liberals that you vote for. $20 billion spent on the homeless. No offense to the homeless, but I guarantee you, if that $20 billion would have went towards job development or some type of infrastructure that creates more jobs, that could give those homeless people jobs, and you lowered your taxes, you could probably solve the homelessness problem. But you can't keep raising taxes every year like California does, and then try to throw $20 billion at the homeless like that's gonna fix anything. You can give a nigga free turkeys and socks all day. If you don't put him on the right path to earning his own money, it's a waste. See, that's the problem with these liberal jurisdictions. Same thing with the state of Maryland. They spend way too much money on human and social services. They spend way too much money. And in return, what you get is a bunch of lazy citizens who take advantage of those programs and live off the government. Why would you have any ambition when you can just sit up and chill and live off the government? There's no incentive to do anything that's going to better you. Look at the black community. All these chicks do, generation after generation after generation, is rely on human and social services. They collect welfare and food stamps until they get old. Then when they get old, they go on Social Security. Or, disability. That's the game. Nobody's incentivized to do anything. But now, the crazy thing is, the economy is so bad and inflation is so high, you can't even survive off the welfare and the Social Security and the disability checks. So people are just saying, fuck it, and they living outside on the street. California's a dump. I don't care to ever go back to LA again. I don't care to ever go back again. It is a certified dump. And all of this is the work of Governor Newsom. Straight up.
That's despite the spending of more than $20 billion to stop it.
My initial reaction is that this is a big problem.
Political analyst Jessica Levinson says the even bigger issue in the report is the lack of accountability, as the audit can't verify that 3 of the 5 homeless programs the state is funding are working.
And the government is failing to account for where the money is being used and if it's being used wisely.
They're not saying the money was misused. They're saying they just can't account for where the money went.
So they're not saying that it was misused, even though they don't know where it is. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. And people are saying that they want Governor Newsom to run for president. Bro, J.D. Vance will eat Newsom alive. J.D. Vance will eat Newsom alive. This story alone, the $24 billion deficit and the $20 billion that just went missing with no account, he's going to get eaten alive. Pause.
I got that dog in love.
Let me show you how clueless this dude is. Let me show y'all, because y'all get the point. I want to show you how clueless this guy is. All right?
This is the governor of California, the great state.
All right, check this out.
State of California, which he's destroyed the last 4 years under his reign. He's being asked, what happened for this $24 billion that you asked us taxpayers to fix homelessness? What happened to that money? Here's the exchange. Go ahead, Rob.
To determine what.
Pay attention. Now, the reporter is going to ask him, basically, what happened to the money? Look at his answer.
Whether the money that's being plowed into homelessness is being well spent.
One of the vexing issues that was highlighted in the audit was local. And each city and county has different strategies and approaches. We've tried to level set that.
I'm sorry, Governor, I didn't hear responses to either of those questions. Do you acknowledge whether the money that the state isn't doing enough to ensure that the money is being well spent?
The audit did not surprise me. The state has advanced on.
The audit did not surprise me. You spent $20 billion on a specific thing. Only 5 programs to manage that you spent $20 billion on. And the fact that you can't account for the money doesn't surprise you? This was your program. You spent the money. You signed off on it, and you're not surprised that it didn't go well? I mean, yo, if you're a liberal, I'm going to give you a chance to call in later and tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy.
Precedented investments, you're correct, and unprecedented interventions demanding more accountability with state money at the local level.
What does that mean, buddy?
It's like, at what point are the people going to say enough is enough and stop putting these type of people in power? It's your money, California. It's your money. And where's it going? Nothing is getting done. The streets are horrible. Homelessness is out of control. Crime is up, but they keep pretending it's like, hey, as long as you're not, just keep voting for us. They keep giving all these promises and nothing happens. And it doesn't surprise me when it comes to Gavin Newsom, the snake in the grass that he is.
Okay, bye.
Where to begin? Okay, well, I do not trust the government at all.
Sorry. Let's get it. All right, so there it is, man. I am 100,000% convinced these Democrats are dead set on blowing hardworking, tax-paying citizens hard-earned money all the way on foolishness. But y'all continue to give them your votes. Y'all continue to give these people your votes. You keep getting the same results. But us over here on the right, we're crazy because we don't want to deal with it anymore. I got another example for you. I got 2 more, actually. And once we get these 2 more, then we're going to get on to the Charleston White situation. All right? I want y'all to check out this video of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, okay? She's on this Breakfast Club interview she did last week, all right? Now, of all the things she could ask of President Biden on behalf of her constituents in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I want to show you what she chose to focus on. You're not going to believe this if you haven't seen this clip already. All right? Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, here we go.
Administration do over the next 30 days before they get out?
Well, one of the things that I just...
So y'all heard that. She's asked, what should the Biden administration do over the next 30 days before he leaves? This is her response.
Sent off to the president was a letter about the crack cocaine disparities. So we know that back in the day, it was 100-to-1 difference when it came to crack cocaine. We know under Obama, it was reduced to...
Let me pause right here and just make a mental note for you guys. She says that she wants President Biden to reverse the crack cocaine disparities in sentencing. Not one time is she going to mention the fact that Joe Biden himself is the author of the 86 Drug Act, which he himself made into law. He wrote it. He is the one who wrote the 100-to-1 crack cocaine to powder cocaine disparity law. He wrote it. The crazy thing to me is, man, they saying that this woman, Jasmine Crockett, should be one of the new leaders of the Democratic Party. How? Every time I hear this woman talk, it's nothing but stupidity coming out of her mouth. Let's go. Hear this shit out.
18-to-1, and as they prosecuted those cases, it's been 1-to-1. But there's a lot of people that are still stuck in prison right now that have that 18-to-1 disparity. I'm asking that all of those sentences be recalculated to a 1-to-1, and we have the numbers, and thousands of people would actually get out of prison, and another few more thousand people would actually have their sentences reduced. And honestly, anything that he can do to make Trump's transition more difficult, I'm here for it.
Well, did you just hear that? These people are not focused on actually getting anything done and serving the American people. She just admitted that her goal is not to serve anyone. It's simply to make President Trump's transition difficult. I'm gonna let you hear that again.
And honestly, anything that he can do to make Trump's transition more difficult, I'm here for it.
Well, so you don't want a peaceful transfer of power.
Listen, it's gonna transfer.
This is crazy. Now, if a conservative would have said this in 2016, in 2020, matter of fact, they'd probably be in jail right now because they'd probably say, oh, this person's inciting an insurrection. I'm gonna go back one more time. If Trump would have said this, or if any conservative would have said this, any MAGA conservative would have said this, they'd be facing jail time right now. Listen to this.
Anything that he can do to make Trump's transition more difficult, I'm here for it.
Well, so you don't want a peaceful transfer of power.
Listen, it's gonna transfer, but if he decides that he wants to keep it shut down, I do want him to understand that there is not an exception in a shutdown for your inauguration monies. And in this continuing resolution, they literally have more than $90 million in there for his daggone inauguration party. So, whatever.
My last question, do you think Biden is quiet?
Whatever. Whatever. Good God, you can't make this up, man.
We quit?
No, absolutely not.
We'll see. If he don't do nothing, if he don't do nothing over the next 30 days, I'm gonna say he quit.
Facts. Finally, Charlemagne is, miraculously, after that Kamala Harris money dried up, now he's growing a set. It's crazy. But again, this is what y'all voted for. Gas high as hell. Groceries high as hell. Inflation through the roof. Housing through the roof. Violence at an all-time high. And your number one priority is to free crackheads from prison. In the words of the great Kevin Samuels, you cannot make this shit up. You can't. But anyways, let's get to this last one. This is and I'm not saying this wrong, this is the weight czar for the city of San Francisco's Department of Health, right? I want you to check out this interview she did. This is the weight czar for the city of San Francisco's Department of Health. Okay? This is what you black liberal Democrats and liberals in general in San Francisco voted for. Let's get to it. This is what y'all voted for.
What is your definition of health?
Yeah, that's really complicated, right? I think I want to talk about that question, but I want to start by saying that, you know, no one has to be healthy. No, right? Like, I mean, it's like...
This is the health czar. No. Let's get the camera on her real quick. This is the health czar. This is the health czar. Excuse me, the weight czar for the San Francisco Department of Health. This is almost as bad as Joe Biden picking an obese man in a wig to head the Department of Health. This is almost as bad as that. But this is what y'all vote for. But we're crazy on the right. Shout out to BC from the BX. He says, leave it up to black female liberals to get up on anybody's professional platforms and think it's cool to talk about stereotypical sister girl slang. Facts. I would never vote for that woman. I would never vote for her. All right, but look, let's get back to this. Let's go.
Start by saying that, you know, no one has to be healthy. No, right? Like, I mean, it's like, no, like there is no governing body that's like out there putting, you know what I mean? It's like no one owes anybody that in either the traditional sense of the word.
Nobody has to be healthy. There's no governing body. Stop! You are an employee of the governing body that's supposed to be promoting health. Do y'all hear this? A top employee in the San Francisco Department of Health is telling you that you don't have to be healthy or you shouldn't be healthy. Of course, it is your right as an American citizen not to be healthy and eat like a pig and die early. But you don't just go around saying that. Especially when you work for the Department of Health. Bro, what world are we living in? What world are we living in?
Any other more innovative or, you know, more politicized, maybe even version of that word. So I think it's important to say, like, and I want to back up and bring in intersectionality and say, like, right, like, look at the disabled community, right? Like, I think people with disabilities have, and activists within that space have consistently been saying, like, I'm never going to be your notion of healthy. That doesn't mean I don't get to be a full human. You get to treat me some kind of way, right? And so I think that I love taking that principle within disability rights to fat activism and to understandings of fatness. So I want to start there, right? Like
fat activism. Bro, let me say this. I am not in the greatest shape of my life, okay? I've got I've got a mild case of dad bod over here. All right, so I'm not acting like high and mighty, like I have the greatest physique. But I do know that a dad bod is not conducive to the way that I want to live my life going off into my 40s. So I'm actively trying to do stuff to reverse that. But this woman just said fat activism. You have a fat activist. You have a fat activist working as the weight czar in the San Francisco Department of Health. California is going straight to hell. Shout out to P Firefighter 1977 on Instagram. He says they can demand we pay for their health care. We can demand they not be fat. Facts. All right, let's get it.
No matter what size you are, you don't owe anybody else your health. But I mean, for me, right, like in an ideal world where, like in an ideal world, there wouldn't be health-based gatekeeping at all.
Health-based gatekeeping, bro. Yeah. So there we have it, man. No need to beat a dead horse. I think that my point is pretty much clear and driven home. Okay? So for all you people who have decided to abandon the Democrat plantation, just take note. There are no saving these people. Unless they want to get saved. The victim mentality has a vice grip on at least 75% of black society. So let them learn the hard way. Pause.
I got that thug in love.
Focus on your family and trying to build something. Focus on taking advantage of the opportunity that this new administration is about to present. I mean, I'll tell you right now, one thing I'm excited about is the fact that the federal workers are going back to work. Trump is putting their ass back in the office. I'm excited. All right? Because if you know me, right? If you know me personally, you know that one of my main businesses is, I'll say, youth services. And the federal government is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, employer in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So if the parents who work these federal jobs are back to work, they're going to need my services. They're going to need my services. And that's another thing that kills me about how stupid the Democrats are. They are complaining about the federal workers having to go back to the office, but that would actually work wonders for DC area businesses. With people going back into work, that rejuvenates the subway system. It rejuvenates the cab industry. Ubers, breakfast spots, delis, daycares, summer camps, barbershops, hot dog stands, food trucks, dry cleaners. I mean, it's like an instant stimulus to the economy, but nobody sees it like that because Trump wants it. Hell, another thing it'll do, it'll get people healthier. But they're gonna have to get up out their beds and take their lazy fat asses to the car, to the train station, walk on the train station, get on the train, and walk to work. That's gonna immediately get people more active. But like I said, because Trump wants it, it's no good, right? That's how these people think. That's how these people think. And it ain't really nothing you can do to save them. Real quick, before we get into the next topic, shout out to Guns and Cafe again on YouTube. He says, wouldn't surprise me if she goes the Tiffany Hayward route. Facts. Definitely wouldn't. All right, so up next, we gotta discuss this Charleston White interview on the Club 520 podcast. All right, that's a very hot topic going right now. And before we get into that real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live on Twitter, shout out to Big Twitter. We're almost at 100. Shout out to Big Twitter. If you're watching live on Twitter, hit that heart button, hit that retweet button, comment in the live chat. If you're watching live on YouTube, smash that like button, smash that share button. Also, if you're on YouTube and you're feeling a little generous, Look right up there. Hit that super chat. No matter what platform you're on, you can hit that Cash App. $ Trippin Ain't Easy TV. All right, let's get it. All right, so like I said, we're going to discuss this Charleston White interview on the 520 podcast. And this shit has had Black Twitter and Black TikTok in shambles. Now, just in case you've been hiding under a rock for the past 24 hours, let me get you up to speed on some things real quick. Charleston White had two very interesting segments with Jason Teague and the Club 520 podcast. Okay, so the first was about why Joe Budden canceled his interview, and this canceled an interview with Charleston White, and the second was about WNBA star Angel Reese. Okay, so before we get into the Angel Reese part, let's take a look at the Joe Budden segment, okay? All right, give me a sec. Let me get that up, and we're going to get to business. All right. One second. Here we go. All right, so here's the first segment.
For 12 years, we like to get
podcast happening shit. One of your favorites, Dr. Umar, Joe Budden.
Yeah. Joe Budden had booked me, nigga. But then, I made some comments about Cassie and Diddy was getting high, freaking, fucking, and fighting like most people do in the ghetto. He didn't want to interview me after that.
He took that deposit.
Well, I say, nigga, if I got $1 billion, you can't tell me what I can do with my bitch. And me and my bitch been doing it for 12 years. We like to get high, fucking fight. Yeah, no matter how extreme y'all think the fighting is. Nigga, we see it all the time in the ghetto with our uncles and our aunties starting out getting drunk. Fight on the weekend. So Joe Budden pulled me from that podcast, but yeah, I seen Dr. Umar Johnson and Joe Budden. Yeah, man, we gotta get Dr. Umar on this podcast. Like highly requested Dr. Umar and be here, and then at the top of that was you two together, man. I'm happy we can make this happen for sure, man. Dr. Umar like to buy pussy too. Dr. Umar like to buy pussy. Yeah, man. Yeah, them hoes told on him about 4 or 5 years ago.
Damn. The Pan-Africans are snitching on my man.
That's what's holding up the school being built.
Yeah, man.
So the school ain't being built because he buying. All right. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. The education budget ain't going to what's happening.
Shit, that part of the budget. That part of the budget. Why you think nigga ain't got no wife?
Damn, see, man, I think about that.
Man, that's part of the budget.
Man, that's so built, man.
So there we have it. There we have it, right? Charleston White is hilarious, by the way, bro. Hilarious. Hope to interview that guy one day. 2025, though, we got some shit coming up. Charleston White is on the list. Hopefully we can get him. But there we have it. Now, Joe Budden did respond. And he said that he canceled his interview with Charleston White because of what he said about Gilly the Kid. Gilly the Kid from $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. He said something about Gilly the Kid's son after he was deleted in Philadelphia earlier this year. Right? Now, to be honest, I still think it's a lame reason to cancel, regardless of whether Charleston's telling the truth or Joe Budden's telling the truth. Either way, that's still a lame reason to cancel him. I mean, when did these rappers get this damn soft and politically correct where they can't even take words? Why not bring him on the show and confront him about what he said? The answer is simple. Niggas are too scared because they know that it ain't no control in Charleston White. And to be honest, if he would have brought him on, Charleston would have made perfect sense about why he said what he said. I mean, he's a little brash. But the message behind his brashness is always solid. See, the thing is, Gilly the Kid's son was a drill rapper or trap rapper or whatever you want to call him, who rapped about killing people and selling drugs. And unfortunately, similar to a lot of rappers who had untimely deaths, they ended up they end up reaping exactly what they sow. They habitually promote that wicked energy onto the community and then act shocked when that same energy hits their front door. But this particular issue wasn't even really what had Black Twitter's granny panties in a bunch. This is not even the issue. Charleston's comments on Angel Reese didn't disappoint at all, right? They're talking about canceling the 520 podcast because of this. All right, so without wasting any more time, let's get into that exchange. Give me a second. All right, here we go.
Because I think it's stupid. Between is a better player.
I think Reese want to sell pussy.
All right, let me start that over. All right, can y'all see that? Can y'all hear that? All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
About it, like regardless of that conversation, because I think it's stupid. Between is a better player.
I think Reese want to sell pussy. Yeah, I think Angel Reese really don't want to play basketball. I think she want to sell pussy.
Nah, she's trying to look, Chuck.
She come out too sexual.
Dub, nah, I ain't gonna let you do that one.
You ready?
She's trying to. I'm trying to have us at the WNBA All-Star.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's your take.
Hey, now BN don't never defeat the WNBA, so for him to do this, I love this.
I think she's just trying to make sure she don't look like a dude. Like she's trying to keep it like I'm
she's trying to brand outside of basketball.
Yeah, like I'm a woman. I like men.
She's tapping into that whole side. She tapping into that whole side of it.
No, she not. It's so many. It's a WNBA player that look like me and you. So she's trying to make it
more girly.
Yeah, she's trying to make it more like you can still be attracted to.
You ain't gotta be left-handed to play the W. Basically, what she said.
It's a Charleston White and a big head on the FIFA right there. Ooh, she's trying to switch the narrative, bro.
I'll take that, dude.
And they dress it like this.
I'll take that. But I still think she need to do OnlyFans, like Shaq said. She need to dunk in her panties. Shaq told her that. Shaq told her she needed to go dunk in her panties. I'm with Shaq.
Shaq didn't say that. He was out of pocket.
Shaq is wild for saying that.
Y'all, stop.
I'm with you, Shaq. I'm with you. Some lace panties. Not no boy shorts. I'm with you, Shaq.
Charles said another boy short?
Nah, dunk in some panties. No problem. That's what them numbers do. That's how you sell tickets.
Nah, we don't need that. That's why we got Caitlyn. Caitlyn keeping it cool.
Okay. Yeah, Caitlyn keeping it cool.
You know what I mean? It's girls that look like Caitlyn that are straight. She's trying to say, hey, I have a man. You know what I mean? Push that narrative.
Yeah, y'all call it.
Angel Reese is trying to push some sex appeal to the WNBA. Like we ain't all dressing like
pussy when they on the road. Yeah, most of them hoes sucking pussy on the road.
What mass majority of them are for sure.
Yeah, nigga, they putting pressure on the ones that ain't.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That is true. Unspoken about things.
They probably suck pussy till your hair catch on fire. Who would want their head smoking? Yeah, man, I'll make my woman quit the NBA. Shit, man.
Hey, you know what's funny? I thought about Home Alone when his hair was on fire.
Yeah,
on fire.
It's a lot of jellyfish in the WNBA.
Excuse me?
Jellyfish.
What else happened this year, man? Shout out to the WNBA, man. All-Star game coming soon. We trying to tap in. We need it back. It's in that, too. You got to pull back up to the W All-Star game, man.
You can go sit down and talk to him about that.
Man, I ain't finna watch no hoes play no basketball.
Come on. Oh, we got to go.
I ain't finna watch no hoes play no basketball. This ain't got nothing to do with the podcast. They can't dunk. Can't none of them dunk.
They are dunking now, though. It's a couple of them. You gotta watch it, bro. You gotta tap in. Like, you know, Juju Watkins.
Man, we need an OnlyFans WNBA game. Yeah, then I tune in. But
Bro, this dude got me dying over here, bro. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. I'm going to let him cook and then we'll chime back in.
I ain't finna watching them long leg women run up and down the court with them,
with them knees.
Yeah, man, with them knees, them high knees. Them ain't low knees.
Shorty from the 21, she played the W with the long knees. The long ass arm. She be a good defender.
Yeah, man, you know what kind of money? And I heard they don't make a lot of money over there either.
It's coming, man.
Yeah, it's gonna get better.
And that's I think that's a chance, Chuck. Give him a chance.
That's the dope thing about Caitlyn too, because regardless of the scrutiny they put on her name, every time she's came out and spoken publicly, she said, "Hey, I'm good, but we need to push the league." And like you said, she did a lot of vocal stuff that helped a lot of black women in the process, man.
She did? Oh, yeah.
She pushed the narrative to help a lot of people get paid, despite a lot of.
Brittany Griner did that. I thought Brittany Griner did that.
He's a motherfucker.
The real BG. The real BG.
Coming out the Russian prison.
Yeah. Did you see that motherfucker with her shirt off at that pool party?
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I was hoping they kept in the Russian jail.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman got her out.
Yeah, I was hoping they kept her motherfucking ass in that Russian jail.
I was so motherfucking mad at that Chuck.
Yeah, man.
Boy.
Man, come on.
And she used to be a pretty little girl coming up out of Texas, man. Yeah.
All right, so there we have it, man. There we have it. Now, what I want to do is, because and on real talk, like, I mean, yeah, Charleston White was a little brash about what he was saying, but like what he's saying is real talk. And this is how men really feel. This is how men really feel. This is what kills me. Like, I'm going to read some of the things that people have been tweeting about this subject for you guys so you can see what they're saying. They're calling for people to be canceled and all this and all that. Right? So I'm going to read that real quick, and then we'll get into some thoughts about that. All right, real quick. So let's go. So one person says, Club 520 was on a generational run, and they effed it up at the goal line by having Charleston White on to spew his usual nonsense. You really hate to see it. Someone else says, who are Jeff Teague and the Club 520 podcast sponsors? There is no way these corporate sponsors can see Charleston White talk so nasty about the top stars in the WNBA and allow the partnership to continue. All right, another person says, Club 520 linking with Charleston White has had me scratching my head all day. The risk always outweighs the reward. Was wild for that Miles Bridges episode, but Charleston White is so much worse. Somebody says, Club 520 letting Charleston White on their podcast was so dumb. The funny NBA stories and sports takes was all fans wanted. We use Club 520 as an escape from people like Charleston White. No jumper. And you can go on Twitter and see this. Like, these lames are all in their feelings and mad because Charleston White's keeping a buck. He's keeping it a buck. All right? So there we have it. There we have it, right? Now, you know what really baffles me? What really baffles me is the fact that these people are acting so butthurt over his comments as if what he said isn't worse than any rap song we've heard from the 90s to the present day. The same people whining about his interview are the same people who supported King Von and Lil Durk's careers. King Von and Lil Durk, two rappers who not only made their careers off of songs about actual murders that they committed, but they had the nerve to go live and make tweets bragging about these murders. The same 304s who are angry about Charleston White sexualizing Angel Reese are the same people that idolize Snoop Dogg and probably rate the Doggy Style album in their top 10 greatest albums of all time. I challenge you this. Go to any black function anywhere in America right now and play the first 5 seconds of It Ain't Fun If the Homies Can't Have None. Play that. And I guarantee you, the entire crowd will go crazy and start singing along. I guarantee you. See, the unfortunate reality, the unfortunate truth here is that the over-sexualization of black women is engraved in the psyche of most black folks for one main reason. One main reason. Black women are ready and willing participants. Go through a list of the top 10 female rap artists today. Each and every last one of them, with the exception of Nicki Minaj, promote themselves as over-sexualized harlots who do anything for a designer bag and a vacation. And if we're going to keep it a buck, Angel Reese fits the description. What's the description? What's the description? Ridiculous wigs, ridiculous overblown eyelashes, hella cleavage hanging out, revealing clothes, and last but not least, twerking. I'm telling you, it's the twerking. It's the twerking. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Give me a second. Let me get to it. I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
This is the governor of California.
Hold on. Let me find this video. Here we go. Right here. That's Megan Thee Stallion twerking on Angel Reese. There we go. Megan Thee Stallion twerking. Angel Reese about to twerk. Look at this. Let's go back. Look at that. Look at that. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I got something else for you. Because, you know, they want to complain, oh, they're over-sexualizing her. No, she's doing it to herself. Let's go. This is Angel Reese right here. Can y'all see that? Hold on. What the hell I just did? Can y'all see that? That's Angel Reese. Let me blow that up. That's Angel Reese. That's Angel Reese. Look at that. That's Angel Reese. That's Angel Reese. That's Angel Reese with a see-through, it says Angel Reese. See-through leotard photo a day before the NBA draft. What lie is Charleston White telling? Cleavage out. That's what they do. That's Angel Reese. She does this stuff to herself. That's Angel Reese. That's Angel Reese. What's that right there? Cleavage out. That's Angel Reese, the victim. I'm telling you, it's like that old Dave Chappelle joke. It's like that old Dave Chappelle joke. And I'm gonna paraphrase this, but it's like when he said, that's like if I were to dress up like a police officer and you run up to me looking for help and I tell you, just because I'm dressed this way doesn't mean I'm a police officer. The same logic applies to those of you women who carry yourselves in that manner. Okay? We don't know the damn difference. We don't know the difference. We can't tell the difference between Angel Reese, a thought rapper, or an OnlyFans thought. We can't tell the difference. So as I said earlier, Charleston White ain't wrong. Now, anyways, I want to switch gears here real quick. And this will be our last topic, and then we're out of here, I promise you. All right, this will be our last topic. I saw this interesting podcast from the Madame Noir channel, and it's from a podcast called Listen to Black Women. I know, right? Sounds depressing. Another show where you have 35 to 50-year-old black women coping with the fact that they are past their primes, trying to convince us that this is what they all wanted. The level of cope that these women have should be studied. It should be studied. This is the only demographic of women who constantly try to conflate failure with victory. And it's really kind of sad, honestly. It's really kind of sad, right? On this particular episode, you got a big girl, a video vixen, an ex-wife of the most popular comedian ever, Kevin Hart, and a chick with blue hair, all congratulating themselves for being losers. All right? So, without any further ado, let's get to the videotape. Give me a second. I'll have that up for you. Okay, here we go, right here.
Children didn't happen, and it's probably because I never really saw myself.
Hold on. Here we go.
As you know, being a mom. I've been secretly okay with it, but I felt ashamed to actually admit that.
Welcome to Listen to Black Women. I'm L'Oreal, and I'm joined by a whole lot of fun. Okay.
All right, let me do something. Let me fix this camera real quick. All right, let's do that. And also, let's add the banner. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Let's get it.
My ladies here are always going to keep it real, hold it down, and be unapologetically black support. Now let's start with my girl Jessie right here.
Having the freedom to be who I want to be. Is having it all.
Danielle Young.
We've got to such a privilege of being able to shift the narrative.
Let me skip ahead. Let me skip ahead a little bit because this I'm telling y'all, this shit gets hilarious. Let's go. All right.
But like even before we get into that, I have a bone to pick. Okay, Melissa. Yeah. I feel for you, girl. Joe Budden. Now I heard he had a lot to say about listen to black women or black. What was it?
They came up with a couple of quips and funny little names for the show to, I guess, highlight that I was on a couple of episodes.
Recognize him.
Shout out to our brothers for Listen to Black Men. Mm-hmm. They come over here. Sometimes they got to check us. Sometimes we got to check them. Mm-hmm. It's an understanding. We have mutual respect. Never called each other out each other's name. Mm-hmm. I just felt for you because I know the type of person you are. I know you're a very smart, beautiful woman. And sometimes it's cringy and hard.
So off the break, they hating on Joe Budden. All right, I'm going to let them cook. I have a lot to say about this, but I want to just get through it because we're coming up on 2 hours. So I just want to get through this. So let's go.
To watch, to see a man like him try to act like your opinion, that is not valued like it is over here. Because, we value you.
Thank you. It's definitely a situation where, I feel like an interloper. You know what I mean?
Now, real quick, let me just say this. I know I said I wasn't going to stop them, but I've got to say this. Notice how they try to sabotage her spot on the Joe Budden podcast. If you don't know about Melissa Ford on the Joe Budden podcast, Melissa Ford wasn't doing anything. She wasn't doing anything until Joe Budden sparingly picked her up and gave her a spot on the show, and now she's getting some income. Look at how they're trying to drag her down. Now, luckily for her, she's not dumb, and she's not about to disparage Joe Budden while she's on the show, but look at these hating ass hoes. This is what they do. See, they don't, and I notice this whenever I see groups of women that call themselves women's inspiration or these women's brunch groups and all this. Bro, these women don't want to see other women actually happy. They want you all to be as miserable as they are. I guarantee you, Melissa Ford is probably making more on Joe Budden's podcast than all of these broads are making combined doing any show that they're doing. The show that we're watching right now doesn't even have that many views. This show can't touch what she's doing on the Joe Budden podcast. But misery loves company. That's the theme of the night with these old 304s that have hit the wall. Misery loves company.
It was very much a man cave before I came along. You know, there was quite a demand to interject a woman's point of view because it was so guy.
Speaking of something else that just makes no damn sense to me, Jonathan Majors. Right?
Oh, Lord.
Numerous times he has said that he's looking for his Coretta Scott. Would you consider yourself a Coretta Scott, ladies?
I think people often forget that Coretta Scott King is and was an activist. And I find it very weird that after you get caught up with being on a white woman and in...
That, what I always tell y'all, and shout out to, I think it's Manager Jap who said this first, but certain black women, not all, are the biggest racists on the planet. They are the first ones to bring race into it. They're the first ones. They bring race into some shit that's not even necessary. They immediately go on a racial tirade. Imagine if this situation was in reverse and it was white women talking about that black woman, blah, 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 blah. They would be the biggest racists on the planet. But, you know, they don't read the room because the tides are shifting. Let's get it.
the midst of trying to rebrand, you go and you get Megan Coretta Scott King.
Because guess where you ain't gonna find Coretta?
And while I love her too, I have to be honest. This man is going to a black woman to rebrand.
But they still together.
Yeah.
And he got found guilty. They still together. So maybe they might be in love.
Megan is a treasure in our community, which is why a lot of people were like, girl, no, because like we hold you up here.
I was stupid as hell. Let me tell you something. I was on here like, ain't no damn way. Megan is.
So Megan Good shouldn't move on from her divorce, which that's a whole nother story. But she shouldn't move on her divorce with an even better guy, right? She shouldn't move on because you guys look up to her. Listen to this logic. Jonathan Majors is still a very successful man, probably way more money than her ex-husband. Probably the type of man that she wants as opposed to her ex-husband. But they don't want her to do it simply for the fact that he used to date a white guy. But these are the same women, that will tell you that you are a sellout for not voting for Kamala Harris. Even though Kamala Harris, they say she's black. I don't think she's black. But even though Kamala Harris is married to a white man. But it doesn't count when we're talking about black women. Because black women can do whatever they want. Black men have to be subservient to black women. I'm telling you, these are the same women that say that. Let you say something against Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Biden appointed Supreme Justice. The black woman who don't even know what a woman is. Married to a white man, which I have no problem with, right? But for some reason, when a black man decides to deal with a white woman, it's a problem. And other black women shouldn't deal with him no more. It's crazy to me. Even though if Jonathan Majors would have went at any of these chicks on the stage, they would come thirsty. Everybody knows it. It's just so ridiculous, man, the shit they say. Let's go.
He's dating this man.
And let me make something else clear too. It wasn't that black people weren't supporting him. His most viral cover was the ebony cover.
Well, I want to go back to the Coretta Scott of it all, because even in that little speech, you know, hearing the audio that he was given to Grace, and telling her, I'm a great man, and I'm like, don't you know who I am? He was comparing himself to Martin, and it's like you're trying to get a first lady, essentially.
I watched a lot of the trial. I read the transcripts. There were a lot of times when he was asking that white woman to save him by...
There it goes again, that white woman. Bro, they so jealous in, not all black women. I'm not saying this is about all black women, but what I'm saying is there is a large proportion of the black women who have voices in social media and in media in general that make you guys look like a bunch of racist haters. They make you guys look bad. Every woman on the stage right now is making you guys look bad. But these are the type of women who represent you guys in the general public. That's why most men look at you as a good time and wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole when it comes to commitment or marriage. The only people risking their lives to do that with you guys are us. Shout out to my wife. She's a good black woman. I'm not complaining about her. She don't give me these type of problems and she don't talk crazy like this. At all. But, just a fun fact. Let's go.
Not saying anything by staying quiet.
Exactly.
Right? I've been in an abusive relationship and I've chased his ass. Okay. And he's whooped my ass and stopped me.
Listen to what she just said. I've been in an abusive relationship and I chased his ass. First of all, fellas, don't never trust a chick with blue hair. Never do that. Never do that. That's an automatic L, bro. Let's go.
Down to the ground. And I had 2 black eyes. And I couldn't come outside for months. Literally. And that man, people with the...
Listen to this nonsense. She had 2 black eyes and couldn't come outside for... Since when do a black eye last for a month? Since when does a black eye last for a month? Get out of here.
Now I done told your ass, if you want something slow and green, you better get you a turtle, ho.
Let's get it.
Defending him, and people are saying that this is a good man, this is my guy, he's a good guy. And imagine being that woman, white, black, I don't care what color you are, and he whooped on your ass, and everybody's telling you you're lying because you chased him in one video.
Right. Well, you know what? We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
So, with modern women, right, we are protecting ourselves because now it's come in a situation where we're blamed for things, even when we jump behind and help and try to save somebody, we're the issue there. So is that the modern day woman?
The modern day woman is just, we've gotten to such...
Now, y'all gotta listen to this thing here. This thing right here is diabolical. Let's go.
A privilege of being able to shift the narrative of what womanhood looks like. Like my mom married to get out of her house, and her mom did the same thing.
Right.
And I couldn't imagine that for myself. I'm 39 years old now, and I would like to be married and get in a committed relationship and all of that, but I don't want to do so just to escape or welcome in this next part of my life that I think this person is going to usher me into. I don't want to be nobody's Coretta. I'm having a great time being Oprah. Whoopi. I like all the people that don't want nobody up in their house.
What about when you want a sugar daddy?
I really do it to
We talked about...
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Listen to this stupidity. Listen to the delusion. Black women. This right here is why you are the least married demographic in the United States of America and probably in the entire civilized world. Because the older women habitually fail the younger women by giving them piss poor advice just like this. This woman has got to be a solid 5'8", 300 pounds, easy. Easy. She is 39 years old talking about how she doesn't want to be controlled. But in the same breath, she's saying she wants a sugar daddy.
Now I done told your ass, if you want something slow and green, you better get you a turtle, ho.
Seriously though, talking about she wants a sugar daddy. Lady, You don't qualify for a sugar daddy. In fact, she don't even qualify for 50-50. This woman qualifies for an unemployed 35-year-old serial baby daddy living house to house with 2 felonies at best. Let me say that again. This woman, hold on, let's go back. Let's go back to her. I gotta make this clear. This woman qualifies for an unemployed 35-year-old serial baby daddy living house to house with 2 felonies at best. And he's definitely gonna be calling the shots. You can't come to the table with all that and expect what you're saying right now. Shout out to Swing Out Museum. He says she is a come up for an ex-felon. Facts. Definitely a come up for an ex-felon. Come on, man. Let's go.
I would be. I like all the people that don't want nobody up in their house.
What about when you want a sugar daddy?
I really do. It's a
We talked about this, and I told her
there's a website for that.
Why is what is your reasoning behind that?
I mean, I know that there's a lot of negativity around that, but I would love to be taken care of and not be any of my money. I don't want the control part. If I can cater it.
9 times out of 10, when you're leading with the money, it's because you want to be able to control the person.
Yeah.
So you use the money to kind of keep them in a certain way.
Yeah, but even the broke ones, they want
They
control.
do.
They
Which is why the modern woman is out here kicking doors
But you
down.
also said, no, but a real man is going to provide and not have to look at it as, well, I'm providing for you so I can control you.
Eventually, it all will do.
I hate to hear when they start talking about what a real man will do. Okay? Let me give you our secret, ladies. A real man doesn't want any of the women on this stage. Number one, y'all talk too much. A real man doesn't want a woman who uses the word real of what a real man would do. Especially in the blue hair one. Oh my God, she's out of control. And you can tell she the most hateful one on the stage. The one with the blue hair. The one with her cleavage out. Cleavage and blue hair. Red flag, fellas.
You have to be out this late. Is it, why are you coming in this late? Because it's my job. I'm a comedian. I have to be at nightclubs till probably 2:30 in the morning.
And that's why she's divorced. That's Kevin Hart's ex-wife. That's why she's divorced. Kevin Hart is arguably the richest comedian in the world. It probably was right before they got divorced. Kevin probably wanted her ass in the house with the kids so he could make the money because he's the real comedian making the real money. But this selfish woman couldn't get that through her thick head.
And it started off not controlling, but then it turned into that, just throwing little hints here or doing it in a subtle way to try to make me say, oh, well, maybe I don't need to be out 5 nights a week when I know that's where I need to be.
Yeah.
Y'all hear this. Y'all hear this. Let's go.
But how about if it flips? We all have a couple dollars up here, right? Modern woman. Is the modern woman willing to be the controlling one and take care of the man and let him be a stay-at-home dad?
It's not for me because
So they just got finished talking about how they don't want a man to control them, but then they flip the script and say they want to control the man. You literally can't make this up, man. But that's why they're all post-wall single women.
the ship has sailed on children for me. Like, that's just not gonna happen, So for me, having a man in my life is somebody who is will be a really great addition to what I've already set up for myself. Like, I'm now a homeowner. I have a really great job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's just.
Hold up, y'all. That's Melissa Ford. That's video vixen Melissa Ford. Okay? That's video vixen Melissa Ford. You mean to tell me all them rich Negroes eggplants you done ran through in the early 2000s and all them rich actors and athletes you were surrounded by, all of them videos and magazines you've been in, and you just now buying your first home at 50. I ain't gonna hold you. Benzino might have been right. That thing is drier than the Saharan desert, bruh.
I don't shine shoes. I don't shine shoes. I don't shine shoes anymore.
Let's go. Shout out to Swing Out Museum. He says, don't these delusional feminists understand that men control relationships and marriage? No, they don't understand that. That's why they hated Kevin Samuels' guts. Because they don't understand. They don't want to hear the truth. And it doesn't even matter at this point. They can understand it or not understand it. They're all aged out. They're all aged out. They're all aged out. All right, let's continue.
It's like the guy that would be perfect in my life would be somebody who wants to be a witness to my life and I'm a witness to theirs. We're the rich auntie uncle.
Yeah.
That's me.
So you never thought about kids, marriage?
No.
I've always thought about kids and marriage, and now it's totally flipped. I am at a point where I do not want kids. However, I'm also open if the partner situation comes in and there's kids involved or what. I am open to that, but I feel like I'm having to keep remaking that piece in order to not make myself feel like I'm mourning some life that I didn't get, that I thought I always wanted. And
it's also making peace.
Do you guys hear the coping? They're literally telling you what it is, bro. They're all past their prime now, and they're trying to make it seem like it's a good thing. They're trying to flip sorrows into happiness. And it's just not working. It's just not working. He says they're all on clearance sale at this point. Facts. They're all on clearance. Let's go.
With the decisions that you feel like you were always supposed to want, but you never really actually wanted them. If I wanted something to happen, I would have made it happen. Right. Children didn't happen. And it's probably because I never really saw myself as, being a mom. It wasn't in the cards, and I've been secretly okay with it, but I felt ashamed to actually admit that,
Why?
Yeah.
Because other women made you feel that, or society?
It's a societal pressure to make you feel like if this is not being used, your uterus is not in use, then what use are you as a woman?
Yeah.
You know
But
what I mean?
they make men too, because, a guy that I've been seeing, he doesn't have any kids. And the first thing that people are all, and I was guilty of it too. I was just like, you ain't got no kids. But I caught myself and I was like, no, Tori, don't think like that. Just maybe he just hadn't found that person.
But it's a little bit more forgiving for them. Like they can get away with being like the George Clooney, bachelor for life kind of thing. It just is. For women, it's just like, what's wrong with you?
I've met someone recently, and he's in his 40s and he doesn't have children. I'm like, I had a slight moment where I was like, okay, you sure you got no kids? You sure you got no kids in Haiti somewhere? But also I was like, maybe God just saved this one for me. Maybe that was my little treasure to find.
Here's the funny thing. So I didn't see myself having kids until I was 35. I had kids 9 years earlier than 35. And so, you know, in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not gonna have a career. I couldn't navigate and do as much as I wanted to do. So, you know, now that my kids are older, I feel like I'm a little late to the party. But I'm starting to remove that out of my head because I'm like, no, Tori, now is the time. You know, your kids are older.
I was gonna say, you are the party.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here.
Oh my God. So that's it. That's it. You guys hear it. I'm just like, wow. The level of selfishness is just off the charts. The level of entitlement is off the charts. The level of arrogance is off the charts. And the level of delusion is off the freaking charts. Instead of these women just admitting that they may have made a mistake and not focusing on having a family earlier on in life, they come up with these ways to make themselves imaginary survivors of the imaginary patriarchy that's trying to oppress them. I tell you what, if misery loves company were a person, each and every last one of these women would be overqualified to fit the description, especially Melissa Ford. The big girl as well, but more so Melissa Ford. She ruined the best years of her life being a video vixen, getting ran through by half the industry. Now she's talking like she's qualified to give life advice to our daughters. It's laughable. Real talk. If you and Superhead are colleagues, you got to sit this one out. If you and Superhead are colleagues, you have to sit this one out. But anyways, we're going to open up the lines real quick if anybody wants to call in. If you're on Twitter, hop on over to the YouTube at Trippin Aint Easy TV. Hit the link in, hold on, let me get the link in the chat real quick. Hold on. Put the link in the chat. All right. This link in the chat. All right, so the link is in the chat in the YouTube. So what I want you guys to do is, this shit's moving slow. All right, the link's in the chat, I think. All right, boom. All right, it's pinned to the top of the, oh no, wait a minute, stop. All right, the link is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. So, like I said, if you're on X or Facebook or Instagram or anything and you want to call in, hop on over to the YouTube page, hit the link in the chat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a brief commercial break. A brief commercial break. So if we get any calls or if we get any links in the chat, hit that link. I'll put you in queue and you can join the conversation. All right? All right, so let's go to commercial.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this message.
I don't know what check it. Hey, Cookie, more pecani sauce. Yeah. This ain't paste pecani sauce. What's the difference? Cookie, paste pecani sauce is made in San Antonio with fresh vegetables and spices by people who know what pecani sauce is supposed to taste like.
This stuff's made in New York City?
New York City?
Get a rope.
Pick up the original Picante sauce. Pick up the pace.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh and fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh and fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my back to you right now. And if you want to go on your own, then walk off and leave. If you want to stick together and make this thing work, when I turn around, we're going to shake hands and we're going to go on a rock and roll like the rockers can do.
They need each other, you know that.
Sounds fair to me.
He's not going to walk away. They need each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rockers!
Told you.
Glad to see that.
Told you.
Tag team specialists.
See, one without the other isn't any good. Oh! Oh, I knew he was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. He don't need Janetti. I told you that off and on.
Are you kidding? What a despicable act that was.
No! Oh, my God.
Right through the glass window of the barber shop.
Janetti tried to dive through the window to escape. Did you see that?
Are you blind?
What an act of cowardism. Oh, he's hurt. A plate glass window.
Oh, look at that. He's busted wide open. We need a paramedic here.
Is there a problem with the laws? They're done. They're finished, Monsoon.
Yeah, there's a problem.
It may be a bad shot, but this is real. I mean, the bones, that's real.
Yeah, my bones, yeah. I'm 5'7" and thin. I can understand what you mean.
But that's not just thin.
No, what is it? Diane, tell me. Do you know?
It's scary thin.
I can believe what you feel. I can believe that. But do you really know? Do you really know?
No, you know.
Thank you.
Anorexia.
No way.
They've written it.
No way.
Bulimia.
No way.
That it's because of drugs.
No. Now, I grant you, I partied. But there have been times when I know I was going through a lot of emotional stress and my eating habits were awful.
Whitney dying. Crack rehab fails.
First of all, let's get one thing straight. Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? We don't do crack. We don't do that. Crack is whack.
Cops say the man pulling the trigger is 18-year-old LeVar Roach, a known gangbanger, according to detectives. A desperate manhunt is on for Roach, who is considered armed and dangerous. I showed his mugshot to this man.
Definitely concerns me a little bit, you know what I mean? But, you know, I packed that thing too. So he come around this way, you will get caught.
All right. We're back. We are back. And it looks like we don't have any callers, which is fine. It's late. Shit, it's damn near midnight. We've been on for almost 2.5 hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let me tell you this. Especially if you're watching on the replay. On the replay that's live. Whether you agree, you disagree, or you're indifferent, do me a favor. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. Tap that notification bell. Hit that notification button. Hit that bell and select all. Also, if you want to give to the show, I mean, if you guys are feeling generous, you know what I mean? Hit that super chat or hit the Cash App. $ Trippin Aint Easy TV. Any donation that you guys want to give to the show to help us go forward, that would be great. We got a lot of good things coming for 2025. I'm looking to go on a tour starting in 2025 to interview a lot of conservative or non-liberal. They don't necessarily have to be Republican or conservative, but I want to hear non-liberal voices in black men in general, and some women, because I want to do my part in changing the narrative. Okay, I talked a lot today about black liberals and what the problem is, but I do want to be positive. There are actually a lot of black people and black men in general, not to make this about race, but it is what it is, that are starting to come to the direction of common sense, which happens to be the right now. Even though I don't agree with everybody or everything on the right, because you got some total clowns on the right, for sure. However, I just want to do my part. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, before I leave tonight, I want to let you guys know something. Tripping ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, for myself and the rest of the crew here at Trippin Aint Easy TV, peace out. Catch you on the next one.